From one PlayStation mascot to another. Greens everyone, this may be a bit impromptu, but it's me, Gigalem, and welcome to Let's Play number 20. This was initially going to be for Crash Team Racing, but after that bit of crash out I had on my freaking social media, I decided to delay Crash Team Racing until further notice. Because until I start feeling better about talking about the Bandicoot, I decided, why not play something else? Why not play a PlayStation franchise that I've been recently getting into and been working my way slowly but surely through its sequels. Starting, well, yeah. Welcome to Sly Cooper in the Thievius Raccoonus. In Europe, supposedly, this was just known as Sly Raccoon. And I think that's the only title to ever bear that name. Sly Cooper is one of those PlayStation 2 mascots that is still remembered fondly by many. And I know people have some opinions about the fourth game. We'll get to that when we get to that. So, why am I covering the PlayStation 4 version when I could just cover the PlayStation 2 version? Or play the PlayStation 5 version? Well, simply put, trophies. I'll be talking about the trophies for both the PS4 and 5 versions and the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions. This game has two sets of remasters with different trophy lists. Now, let us go into the settings, make sure this is in the right aspect ratio, and yeah, I think that's all good. Let's begin proper. I think Bentley has something to say to us.
Sly, come in! Sly, do you read me?
Yeah, I read you. Loud and very loud.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Trying to break into police headquarters does that.
Get over it, Bentley. You're safe in the van. I'm the thief here. I've got to steal that file from Inspector Carmelita Fox.
Well, count on me to be your eyes and ears, buddy. Got their security system totally scoped. To get inside, you're gonna have to go through that air vent.
All right, I'm going in.
And don't forget you got me at the wheel, Sly. All you gotta do is grab the file and get back to the van. We'll do the rest.
Just keep that engine running, Murray. I'll be down in no time.
So now let's begin. Sly 1 is very different from its sequels. To put in perspective, if we collect that single coin in the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions, that's our first trophy. Actually, it's our second trophy. If you were to play the collection on Vita...
Hey, Bentley, I think I'm seeing things. Must be vertigo or something. Can you see those crazy blue lights?
Really? I've read about this. Master Raccoon thieves are able to sense thieving opportunities, which manifest themselves as unexplainable blue auras. According to my research, all you have to do is get near them and hold down the circle button, and you should perform a super sneaky Master Thief move.
Hold down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
As I was saying, if you were to play the PlayStation 3 or Vita version of the game and select the first game, or if you were to start up the digital release of the first game, well, you immediately get the trophy Sucker Punched, which is guaranteed.
Careful here, Sly. Break one of those laser beams and you'll set off the alarms. Not to mention you'll be fried to a crisp.
Yeah, get detected by the yellow lasers, they turn to red lasers, and you'll suffer, combustion, which also has one of the best voice clips to ever come from Sly, which I'm impressed is coming from the person who's doing this voice for Sly. So, of course... Yep, the door is locked, so what do? You go outside, and then you sneak around. The intro stage isn't that long, but through speedrunning tricks, I don't know what you have to do it. Well, you can actually just skip this stage outright. But we're not speedrunning here,
Way
we're
to go,
doing a
Sly.
Let's Play.
This is where Inspector Carmelita Fox stashes all her important files. I hacked into the police security mainframe and discovered this vault's combo. Try dialing in 937.
Now, you're meant to use the D-pad for this, but they also let you use the face buttons. X to go down, triangle to go up, or that's up, no, yeah, okay. And circle and square to go left and right. So, of course, let's get our first trophy, shall we?
Nice job! You got it! If you come down through the fire escape and head through the parking lot, we'll be waiting in the getaway van.
Now, here's how things work here. I will be talking about the PlayStation 3 trophies and the PlayStation 4 trophies. I'll be listing them via illustrations that will show off the console-specific trophies. Basically, some trophies are going to be shared, but they have different ranks or different names. So as we'll go on, you'll be seeing these trophies pop up on the screen like so. So yeah, if we were to wrong button, were to pause, well, it will show us how many coins we got and such. So collecting 1 coin basically means we already have the second trophy of the PlayStation 3 version. Of course, step outside and we get to meet everyone's favorite femme fatale,
You
Carmelita.
foolish Raccoon. I've caught you red-handed.
Ah, Carmelita. I haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to return the Firestone of India to its rightful owners.
And I was gonna give it to you as a little token of my... Hey, you know, that bazooka really brings out the color of your eyes. Very fetching.
You think? This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it. Might snap you out of your crime spree.
And give up our little rendezvous?
Plenty of time for that once you're safely behind bars.
Love to stick around and chat, but I just dropped by to pick up this case file. I think you've had it long enough.
So yeah, this is another level trope we'll be seeing throughout the game. These are the chase level tropes. It's the simple platforming, but you have to run and not get shot. Now, Sly 1 is more like Crash Bandicoot. The levels are linear, there are things to break, and you only have 1 hit point minus any sort of, minus any sort of Lucky Charms. And the voice acting.
Once again, my gang and I had given Inspector Carmelita Fox the slip. I was surprised to see how well she took it. Finally, the secret police file I'd been searching for all these years. With this, I could avenge my family and regain possession of our most valued treasure. It all began when I was just a kid, bouncing on my father's knee. You see, I come from a long line of master thieves who kept all their secrets of sneaking and stealing in an ancient book. The Thievius Raccoonus. Anyone who read it learned to be especially sneaky, which is why we specialize in stealing from criminals. After all, there's no honor, no challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary people. You rip off a master criminal, and you know you're a master thief. Well, on the night I was supposed to inherit the book, 5 visitors came unannounced to our door. My father fought to protect us, but the gang of villains known as the Fiendish Five overpowered him and ransacked our house until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands. They tore the book into 5 pieces and split it up, each villain disappearing to the farthest corners of the world to commit dastardly crimes. Broken alone, I was dumped at the town orphanage. There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong buddies and trusted crew. Bentley, techno genius and strategist supreme, and Murray, part-time driver and full-time burden. Together we pledged to track down the Fiendish Five, avenge my father, and steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. I knew I was about to face the toughest test of my life. On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors before me, or fail and allow my family name to bite the dust.
So, that little prologue right there is all you need to know about Sly's origin. The series will go more into that, but also will build more upon the characters you see. This game is all about controlling Sly, but there will be moments where you control one of the other characters, and there's going to be one moment where there's only where this particular character you'll be controlling, and that's going to be at the very end of the game.
That was a nice piece of work back there at police headquarters, Sly. Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer. Use the left analog stick to move around the hideout and the X button to select things.
So yeah, basically, this game is pretty darn short. We're talking like Crash Bandicoot 1 type of short. You can beat it in a single sitting, I'm not kidding.
I've already plotted a route to our first target.
Now, right here is Murray, a character who goes through a bit of a glow-up with the sequel. Can't wait to talk about that. Murray is very timid. He's usually the van driver of the group and the brawn. But we will not be seeing Murray's true form until we get to Band of Thieves, and I'm still going through that game. I'm at episode 4. But of course, let's begin episode 1 of our Let's Play proper. Let's begin Tide of Terror.
The road trip gave me the time I needed to study up on Sir Raleigh the Frog. As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege. On a whim, he tried his hand at a bit of piracy and found it to his liking. Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights. The last reported sighting of this mad machinist was off the soggy coast of the Isle o' Wrath, a small island uncomfortably situated in the middle of the perilous Welsh Triangle.
Of course, how fitting that a fly decided to get in my grill on the episode with a frog in it. So yeah, we start with a frog who has a life of crime with piracy. And boy, you know what, we should probably start breaking these. We need to break 5 of those things for a trophy. But, sheesh. Now, when I say this game is more like Crash Bandicoot, well, you'll start to see it through its levels.
Hey, Sly! I just spotted something that's going to complicate the mission. See that nasty-looking gate? It blocks the only road leading into Raleigh's hideout.
No problem. I'll just use my climb move.
Okay, but remember, you can only climb on certain objects, like pipes and ropes.
Yeah, sure, and like that ladder there?
That is correct, but do not forget, Sly. You have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah. Relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
I love Bentley. He's my favorite character of the series. Now, if you're wondering why I've been getting into the series and such, and why I've been finally trying to check that out, well, let's just say I've been watching SGB for quite the while, and you don't know how happy I was to see them come back like 2 years ago. Anyways, these are clue bottles. This is another aspect of this game that will make it feel more like Crash Bandicoot. There's always a small amount of them, and you want to make sure you break this. And that's our first trophy on the PlayStation 4 version. Yeah, a silver trophy to start out with. Also, that delivery of pipes and ropes, that That always makes me smile, just how he elongates it. But, yeah. Sly Cooper is more or less a stealth platformer. But, it gets more stealth platforming with its sequels. Now, while the PlayStation 4 version is a way to play the game, I will tell you that there are some caveats to playing some of the re-releases. And one of those caveats is that some versions tend to run much faster than intended. So, yeah. So, another aspect about this game you need to be careful for is this. Oop. Dying immediately. Avoid acute combustion, get hit by a star because I wasn't aware enough. Ugh. So, as much as I would like to play the PlayStation 2 version, maybe I just might make enough progress in the PlayStation 2 version to show what the Episode 3 boss fight is like without the desync. But I'll tell you this right now and such. Like, if you don't really care about playing this through the original hardware, the PlayStation 4 and 5 versions are the easiest way to get your hands on it. If you want to get your hands on like older versions, like the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions, at worst, I'd say get them digitally. And I will say this right now. If you have the ability to get the PlayStation 3 version, do it, because there is like something that's on it that's not available digitally, and those are the PlayStation Move mini games. We'll talk about those when I cover the third game. We did skip a bit of a tutorial prompt for the acute combustion, and Bentley will be telling you about tracking your progress with these things, these checkpoints. Now, the first game...
According to my amphibio positioning system, that big blimp is where Raleigh is hiding out.
You know, that blimp looks more like a machine than a hideout.
You're right, Sly. That is a storm machine. It's the reason why it never stops raining around here.
That explains all the wrecked ships.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. But rain or shine, I'm gonna steal my family's book back. And if Raleigh gets in my way, it's on.
I do have to wonder, how does such a storm machine affect the ecosystem? Questions for later. Be careful of the mooks you see here. That's why. I just love Sly's burning her clip, or her soundbite, because when you get hurt, well, you just hear that... Like, I'll probably just play it again at full volume. By the way, we surpassed 60 coins. That would be another bronze trophy in the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions. There are, like, basically 3 guaranteed trophies for gathering enough coins to get yourself a lucky charm. And coins are a means of just getting lucky charms. You don't get 1-ups, you get lucky charms, and you find 1-ups either through drops or through guaranteed spots where they can spawn.
Nice job so far, Sly. To get over the next gate, you'll need to grab onto this hook using your cane. Just jump and hit the circle button.
Got it. Jump and hit the circle button to grab onto hooks.
Now, unless you know a few cheat codes, a lot of these cutscenes are unskippable. And the reason for those cheat codes is, like, if you know the cheat codes, to skip that text. Like, skip certain story events so you can get past them. And I do say, check out the toolsets at Speedrun for this game, excuse me. Like, if you can, because the toolsets at Speedruns, well, they skip a lot in this game. Good job, me. The toolsets at speedruns do tend to skip a lot in this game. And on top of that, the toolsets at speedrun for this game is like the any %. They also do it coinless, which is a speedrunning term, basically going throughout the entire game without touching a single coin. And another detail that I noticed upon replaying this game is that coins can indeed, well, actually not, is that the coins are dependent on the area, at least design-wise. Be careful of these guys. Now, all these mooks do have names. I will put them, I will talk about them when we get to, like, I want to say, like, episode 4, which is the penultimate episode. Yeah, this game doesn't have that many episodes. This game is pretty short. And when I say, like, pretty short, we're talking, like, there's only 5 episodes in this game. And the last episode is a gauntlet. There's no clues to be found in episode 5. Anyway. Like in this world, you see that the coins is a big top hat, something of Sir Raleigh. We only have 16 of the coins.
That large vault has got to be somehow related to those clues in bottles you've been collecting. If you can locate all the clues in this area, I should be able to crack the code and get you inside it.
So, I never got to finish talking about the clues aspect. I really should have gotten my topics together before beginning this Let's Play, but basically, when collecting, the clues are like the boxes of this game.
Found it, Sly? That's the final clue to crack the code. Now find out both, and I'll give you the instructions to open it.
And basically, the levels are linear, I'm not kidding on that front. And of course, your reward for collecting all clue bottles is to open the vault.
To believe that the code for this vault is 792.
792.
Sly, you found a page from the Thievius Raccoonus. This page teaches old Drake Cooper's fast attack dive move. Press the triangle button to use it.
That dive move will come in handy. It's really good for certain targets. So, there were also, now, when I say that the PlayStation 4 and 5 trophies are, the PlayStation 5, the 4 and 5, and the PlayStation 4 and 5 version trophies are different from the PS3 and Vita trophies. PS3 and Vita trophies are progression based. You can just basically get everything by just playing the game normally and collecting all the vaults. This game, however, there's a lot more challenge to it. And this is what you're going to be collecting throughout every chapter or episode up until Cold Heart of Hate. And that is keys. These are treasure keys. They are in every chapter, and there are also trophies for basically getting every single one of them. They are hard to miss unless you decide to do speedrunning tricks to avoid them, which I'm wondering, why would you want to do that? So of course, Sir Raleigh's hideout.
That blimp looks like the most secured location on this boat. If Raleigh's really as smart as his police files suggest, then that's where I'll find him.
Wonderful idea, but your plan is flawed.
Why?
Because it's impossible to get near him. To access Raleigh's blimp, you would have to sneak through that high-voltage power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator. And to do that, you'd need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily guarded.
Interesting. So when are you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine, but I warned you. I've marked the areas you need to hit with holographic markers. Follow them to your objectives.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. It's your funeral.
And now you know why I love Bentley. He is very dry and blunt, and sometimes, and sometimes he's just like, Sly, I'm trying to keep you alive.
Wow, you found a lucky charm. That'll protect protect you when you take any damage.
The Lucky Charms are your Aku masks. In the prototypes, you were originally going to hold up to 4. I guess they lowered it to 2 because they probably found it overpowered. As for what that looks like, well, here you go.
The storm machine has sunk its 50th ship last night, and the loot has already been unloaded. Our operation is moving along splendidly, with the possible exception being the gross negligence displayed below decks, and I demand the boilers stay at full pressure at all times. If you lazy, lowbrow, technically incompetent attack of gunners did your jobs right, we'd have sunk 100 ships by now. But of course, 50 boats is a fine achievement. Carry on, my boys, carry on.
So yeah, the boss of this chapter will have things to say depending on where you are. Sometimes they'll even talk in one of the levels, and I don't know if I'll put in subtitles for everything they say. I will probably suggest that you look up a video for that. However, in terms of getting certain trophies that require doing something in a level without doing certain things, I'll just say if you're playing the PlayStation 4 and 5 version, which are where those trophies are, create a save state before trying to make that trophy, so that way you can reload it in case you fail. Now there are always going to be... Now, each world is broken up into 2 sections. The first section and the last section. And of course there are levels in each of these sections, as you can tell from the portals. That's another aspect of this game that's more like Crash Bandicoot. And of course, why don't we get started by going into the machine? So yeah.
Better close those furnace doors. Jump and press the square button. That'll slam them shut.
Give me a moment. I need to find a trophy for Into the Machine first. Okay. So, yeah. Those things won't stay shut for very long. Into the Machine is rather straightforward. Now, some of the trophies that are listed are also good hints on how to take care of the Master Thief trials. The Master Thief trials is another Crash Bandicoot comparison. The Master Thief trials are much like the time trials from Crash Bandicoot 3. However, there's no way of stopping time, and I will tell you some strategies that you're going to want to adopt. Otherwise, that particular trophy is going to be hard to earn. I will tell you this right now. There are going to be some clue bottle locations I'm going to tell you to make sure you remember where they are. Otherwise, you're having to backtrack throughout the entire level, or even exit the level to try it again just to find it. Now, this part has almost gone on for 30 minutes, and I'm probably going to make a break in the recording. But here's something I recommend you do for this. Now, whenever you jump onto these, you will be sprung into the air. If you don't break these bottles while they're on that platform, let them fall to the ground so you can break them upon reaching it. Anyways. Yep. Just make sure that you break the one that's hanging. Get the one up. And for the ones on the ground, just break those. Simple as that. So it's not exactly your SOL if you miss it that way. So, yeah. We do have the dive. We might as well start using it. It's a really good move for momentum and such. But it's also really good for when you want to take care of certain guards. There are also going to be trophies that are going to be a pain to earn because it requires us to do something, such as get through it without doing this, or get through something without doing that. That's a lot of the PlayStation 5 and 4's trophies. And they might be trophies that you're going to be missing, but you can always replay the levels and still get them. Now, normally you're supposed to wait for these blades to go by, but remember, okay, circle button prioritizing a later part of the thing you're supposed to climb on. You can jump and then press circle again just to speed it up, and you're going to want to remember that. Especially for the Master Trial runs, and boy, am I not going to like that because I have not done the rest after the 10. Ugh. Anywho, of course, you know what to do here. If you didn't get them upon touching the platform, let them fall to the ground and break them there. So, make sure these ones are prioritized. And make sure you hit this one. That's the one you're going to want to worry about. Of course, when it comes to fighting against the enemies of Sly Cooper, make sure you know how you're going to avoid them. Now, that thing I just broke, that thing will always go off whenever you hit a yellow laser, and when those yellow lasers are broken, it means, guess what? You'll be hit with acute combustion. And, with acute combustion, the one thing you want to worry about is breaking that thing, so that way not only are the alarms finally shut off, but you also have the alarms out of the picture. Now, of course, be careful around that fire. It's hot. We're going to be exploring this area quite a bit. And remember to hit circle button on these things. What I like about Sly Cooper 1, though, is how much simpler it is. I am enjoying my time with Sly 2, but it's a much longer game than the first. I'll tell you that now. If in case it takes a while for me to get to Sly 2 or Sly 3, it's because they're much longer. Sly 2 and 3 are longer games, and they require a bit more time to go through them simply because of that. And of course, I am missing a clue bottle. This is the one thing I was afraid of. Missing a single clue bottle and wondering where it is. Because when you miss a single clue bottle, I'm often having to comb through the level and trying to see where the heck that clue bottle was. And that's... Where the hell is the clue bottle? Oh, where is it? Because it should be around here. Oh, of course. Progress ahead. Now get to the vault.
I can't believe I pieced this one together. Try 227. Interesting. Old Sally Cooper's fast getaway raccoon roll. Stories claim she can move faster rolling than anyone else could on the run. Hold down the triangle button to use this move. Switch between your power-ups using L2 and R2.
Now, in the PlayStation 3 version, there are trophies for unlocking certain abilities and trophies for getting the upgrades to certain abilities. The roll, however, is basically a means of traveling a little bit faster on the ground without speeding up time. Now, I think it's affected by physics. I don't know if there's any like speed utilities with this particular roll, but let us finish Into the Machine and wait, that's the. I'm so used to Slide 2 where you have to hold L1 to run. Now, one thing I should mention with the PlayStation Vita version, new lines were recorded to account for the touchpad and the touch screen. The touchscreen is actually how you use the Binocucom, the very thing that's I based the border off of. And believe me, I've had trouble trying to decide what the border was going to be for this Let's Play. Especially for 4x3 games. Because if I were covering the PlayStation 3 version, had I not already platinumed it, I would have basically done that version just to avoid using a border. So yeah, there's the treasure key, and that's the level wrapped up. So now that that level's done, we can basically just call it good for episode 1. If you want to donate, there are a couple links in the description below. Any amount helps. If you want to follow this Let's Play and any others like it, just click the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be on your way. But you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. The thought is appreciated. Anyways, I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and I shall now bid you adieu.